up, champion? It's Meech. Appreciate you for tapping in. But today, family gang came in town, and I went ahead and ran them through one of my workouts. We did pull-ups, the OG pull-ups, the OG bodybuilding pull-ups, and we're going to talk about that too. We did biceps, and we also hit the abs and obliques. So thank you for tapping in. Let's get to this workout though. Exercise number 1. So, champion, what we ended up doing was I went ahead and ran family through one of my full body workouts. We're just going to go over the upper body portion of that workout. Let's get to it. We went from pull-ups to bicep curls. So you might ask, instead of doing regular pull-ups, Meech, why did you do behind the neck pull-ups? We just wanted to add a lot more challenge to the pull-ups. So we was like, shit, instead of us doing like a whole bunch of regular pull-ups, let's just go ahead and do behind the neck pull-ups. The behind the neck pull-ups, they hit your lats, they hit your traps, they hit your round boys, and they hit your rear deltoids. Round boys, rear deltoids. You know, on these behind the neck pull-ups, it's not really a fast pace because you don't want to risk injury. I do these pull-ups kind of slower than I would normally do versus a regular pull-up, because technically a lot of personal trainers don't like this workout. The interior and the exterior rotator cuff being compromised by the position that you're putting it in by doing the behind the neck pull-up. But this is also a great pull-up to help bodybuilders do their double bicep pose. This is definitely a good workout, because if you honestly think about it, double bicep pose is when your shoulders are back, elbows forward. So with all that being said, after you hitting all those muscles, you want to go ahead and drop down to the ground. Don't drop down. Make sure you control your body, because you don't want to flip over the bar. Remember, you want to get that full stretch when you're doing these behind the neck pull-ups from top to bottom. When you get up to that top, hold that top for 3 seconds, and it'll make a big difference. Remember, it's hitting all of these different muscles within your back, and then you drop down, and then you're doing the bicep curls. Once you're doing those bicep curls, you're going to get a full understanding on the pump that you're going to have, because it's going to be going crazy. When you're doing this back workout, you want to make sure that you're staying in the negative. You want to do these movements slow. The slower you move, the bigger the muscle. The faster you move, the smaller the muscle. That's the name of the game, champion, of weightlifting 101. Exercise number 2. So we went ahead and did the easy bar curl. It just so happened that they got an easy bar curl machine. Man, this machine goes crazy. Like, I use it almost every time that I go to the gym. It's kind of crazy. This is a machine that I had to use every bicep day now that I've discovered it. And it's so much more convenient because, you know, like when you're trying to do a drop set on an easy bar curl, you got to literally keep switching bars. But on this machine, all you're doing is just switching the weight, and that's it. Way easier, way more simpler, and you get a crazy pump from the workout. Instead of you keeping your wrist locked and your knuckles pointed to the ceiling, we wanted to act like we had a plate in our hand when we did these bicep curls. And what that basically does is that deactivates your forearm. So therefore, you're only using your bicep. I've noticed the most growth out of my bicep by simply acting like I have a plate in my hand by lifting it. Like I might have the bar right here, like in the tips of my fingers, and then I'm lifting up versus me going like this. I'm more like this. You know what I'm saying? So that little tweak is, remember, it's all about details. It's all about details, champion. That little tweak changed the whole game. And again, we're doing everything to failure. So make sure that you're doing these bicep curls to failure. We did 3 sets. Did 3 sets of those, champion. Let's get to it. All right, Chubby, so you made it to the abs. Exercise number 3. We went ahead and did the abdominal crunches on one of the flat benches. Well, technically it's not a flat bench because this bench is at an angle. And the reason that I do that is because when I'm at an angle of leaning back and I'm doing my crunches forward, it gives it a different type of tension within the abs when you do it this way. When you're doing these abdominal crunches, you want to make sure that you're holding 3 to 5 seconds to make sure that you're really getting that contraction. You want to act like your belly button is touching your spine along with flexing your abs. That's the best description I can give you, champion. Like when I'm doing the exercise, that's exactly what I put in my brain. I want to make sure that my belly button, navel, whatever you want to call it, is touching my spine and that I'm contracting my abs. Remember, you want to blow out while you're doing that. You blowing out, you're more susceptible to flexing your abs, your obliques, and your core all around. And when you're doing all these abs, and when you're doing these bicep curls, you're doing these biceps, you gotta know that the name of the game is pain. And that's how I progressed to where I am today. I push myself once I start feeling the pain. Like, just imagine you're doing an exercise. You might stop at 10, right? But you could have did a lot more than just doing 10. champion. Exercise number 4. We went ahead and we did a superset. We did the side plank crunch, and then we also did the elevated T-spine rotation arm reach. But what we gonna call it is a side bridge twist. Side bridge twist. We ain't trying to be complicated. Let's make everything a little simple, you know what I'm saying? So if you're a beginner, I would just start out by doing side planks, and so you can get familiar with holding yourself up. You know what I'm saying? Because it's actually kind of harder if you just hop straight into this. So start out with just doing side planks. Start out with doing them for 30 seconds. Then hop to a minute. And then hop to 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Just keep going up and up. And that's how you build yourself over time. And you will notice a difference in your obliques. But with that being said, once you do this exercise, the side plank crunch, you want to make sure that you are moving your body, your torso, away from the floor. When you're moving your body away from the floor, you want to do the crunch motion, so you want to flex your obliques as much as possible. Sometimes I kind of have my body in the arc motion, which allows me to kind of flex my obliques a little bit more. I also have my feet staggered, as you can see. In the body positioning, I make sure that my head is aligned with my heels. My shoulders are aligned with my elbows and also my hips. Remember, the whole point of doing this first side plank, this first exercise of the superset, is you want to make sure that you're moving your body away from the floor. If you keep that in your head, just imagine you just trying to get your body away from the floor, you're crunching. You see what I'm saying? Getting them obliques right. You gonna have the abs, but you gotta get the obliques too, champion. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have a total package, you know? A side twist. So when you're doing this, you wanna keep that same concept about moving your body away from the floor and keeping your body stable within that side plank, but you wanna reach. And when you reach, your obliques are gonna flex. You're gonna feel it all throughout your body. But remember, you wanna start from the base. So you wanna make sure that your plank is right. So remember, just make sure that you do the plank first, practice doing the planks, and then progress up to doing these 2 exercises. But start with planks, champion. I stress, start with planks. Doing all these abs, and when you're doing these bicep curls, you're doing these biceps, you gotta know that the name of the game is pain. And that's how I progressed to where I am today. I push myself once I start feeling the pain. Like, just imagine you're doing an exercise. You might stop at 10, right? But you could have did a lot more than just doing 10. So let me give you a tip to get through the pain. So say if we're doing 12 reps, I count up to 12, and then I know I could do more than 12. I just automatically just start counting to 1 again. So I go all the way from 1 to 12, then I go 1, 2, 3, and I just recount. So therefore, in my mind, it's kind of like a trick on the mind. You like, dang, I only did like 4 reps, but technically you did, 16 reps already. You know what I'm saying? So you just got to play games on your mind. You got to remember, the gym is more than just exercise. It's more than just the body. It is about a mindset of consistency, a mindset of not giving up, a mindset of putting yourself through a difficult time. You honestly can see me and my family, my cousin, we're pushing ourselves. Just look at our face. Like, you see that we're not straining, but we're pushing ourselves past where most people would have stopped. Pain is a transition to growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, once you start feeling the pain and you go through that, you're going to grow a lot more, champion. Just think, if you do something that's hard, you're going to eventually adapt to it. And therefore, once you adapt to it, you're growing. Hard things often prepare ordinary people for extraordinary destiny, champion. The name of the game is pain.